Hello.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. She got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane.
Hi everyone, I hope we are doing well. Is the stream visible? So, let me check the audio and video. Okay, seems like it's live. So hey, hi everyone. So this is this will be the first live from where we are trying to build a Flutter application. Okay, so you can see this application on the. Let me show you how the project is designed and how you can follow up. So there is a screen here. If you see on the right hand side, there will be an emulator where the app will displayed. And if you see, there is the file structure. And yeah, this is the basic Flutter application. Some of the part of the application is already built. But yeah, we'll be building some things here so that we both can learn from each other. I don't have that much of experience on Flutter. I'm just learning, so I thought, why not do it together? So let me go through the project once, okay? So what this project is, so let me bring the emulator to the middle and show you. Second. Okay, let me show you the application. Okay, so if you see the application, what are the things you can see is, so there will be a card in the top that will wish the user. It will show the date, time, and day, and will also give the current temperature and what the weather is using the location. Okay, currently I've set it Jalandhar, so you can set it whatever you want. So it just takes your, if you swipe right, okay, swipe to the right, you'll get a this thing. Here you can enter the zip code and country code and set it. So let me search the zip code of Delhi. Zip code of Delhi. 1 second, it's 111001. So if I do 111001, and the country code is IN. IN is for India, okay? So you enter the zip code and click on India and click on set. If you see, it's New Delhi. It shows the temperature 30.06 degrees Celsius mist. And where it's fetching from is, okay, let me even bring up the so, 1 second. Why can't I share my Chrome with you all? Give me a second, guys. Okay, you can see the Chrome, I guess, now. So what it's using, there is a website called Open Weather Map. If you go to this, oh god, why is it on? It's a dark mode. Appearance. 1 second. It's dark. Why is this not dark? You fix this. Hmm. Okay, yeah. I almost want mass, but yeah. So if I go for open weather map, right? If you go to here, open weather map, you can get the API key and you can get the weather. So if you search for cities, so if I search for New Delhi, right? Search New Delhi, India. So it gets 30 degrees Celsius, right? Same as here. And it says mist. And if you see down the app, right? So you should get the same thing, 30 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, and the mist, and the location is New Delhi. So we're not in this app, we'll not be tracking the location or anything such like that. We just use this just using the zip code. So it may not be the exact location of what you are, but at least it'll give you an idea like what the weather is in around 20-30 kilometers radius. Okay. So yeah, that is it. And let me show you the code now. Bring this to the end. So how did we design this application? This application is designed. It's not following the best practice, but I prefer it going this way since I have some experience using Django and how we design the app voice system, right? So we'll be following that way, and the naming convention will be something. I also use a framework called Ember, okay? That is like React type of that is the component wise, it separates out by component. So this is how we'll be separating. If you go to the lib folder, okay, if you are new to Flutter, then you will know that there is a lib folder. That is where we contain all the code. So I'm using one package for state management, that is Riverpod. Okay. So if you don't know what Riverpod is, so let me bring up my Chrome. And go to pub.dev. Pub.dev. Pub.dev is where you get all the packages, okay, for Flutter. And you can search for Riverpod. Yeah, this is what I'm using for state management. I'll paste this on the, let me paste this on chat. Yeah, so this is the package that we are using for state management. Okay. Yeah, so let me come back to the code again. So if you see how we did in the lib folder, right? You see in the, should I increase the, let me increase the font. Okay, I think now it's more visible, right? That will take a lot of screen, but yeah. One second. So yeah, so if you see the lib folder, okay, in the lib folder we'll have the manage requirement for all the packages, all Flutter application, right? And there is a component folder. First, let me go through the outside of the lib folder. That is a root lib. So we'll have something called main.dart that is contain all the code. And what I'm doing with this application is we are not going on the multi-page or anything. This will be a single page application. Okay, I'll do a demo of the app. Don't worry, I'll do a demo of the app. But first, let me show you like let me remove this also. First, let me show you like how this app runs. Okay. Okay, this is the main.dart. Then we'll have something called journal model. So since the project name is journal, then it will have a model folder. And what this will contain? This will contain if there is any model. Model is like if there is any class where you want to use something, right? We'll use it here. And then second is the providers. Providers are like if you are managing any state or anything. If you see we have Firebase, Firestore instance and all this, right? So this is where we'll do in the providers. Then there will be one called repository dot dot. God, we should not go with the API case, but anyway, I'll change the things for this. Don't worry. Yeah, you can do all the calls you want. I'll change it. So this is a best practice. Or we should put the API code in our environment file. But yeah, that's okay. So let me do one thing. Let me change it so that I don't forget. I'm not sharing that. Okay. Openweathermap.org. One second. Let me just complete by changing the API key access. So the API key for this was 5488. One second. Let it's taking some more time. But yeah, I just don't want to forget of like not updating the API key as this may cause some problem in the end. But yeah. Just few more minutes. So yeah, the API key was okay. Now even if you see this, it doesn't. But yeah, at least we got an idea. Like we need to create an environment variable where we need to put this API key. Okay, you should never share your API key publicly. Okay. So yeah, in the repository, just talking on the file, what the file. In the repository, what we'll do is we'll do all the API calls that needs to be done. Okay, all the API calls that will need to be done will be done on the repository file. Okay, so this is the basic structure. The providers will contain all the state changing things that River Pod will handle for us. The model will contain any models, like if there is any table, like in the database, we can save in a table, right? That will be a model type. So we'll put in the model. The repository will do all the API calls. So if you see these three files, right, the journal model, providers, and repository, this will be the structure for all our widgets or all our part of the apps that we put. So now if you go to component, this will contain all the different part of our application. Okay, if we see drawer will be one part, exercise, I'll show you the app, the demo of the app, then we'll see this, but let me show you exercise, expenditure, general, journal, timer, to dos. So all of this will, but if you open them up, right, you can see that there will be view, provider. If you go to the exercise, you can see there'll say model, provider, repository, view. View will contain the UI thing of it. A repository, if you see, it will contain the UI thing of Flutter. The repository will contain all the database calls and all this, the remote access. The providers will handle all our state, and model will contain if there is a, like, suppose this is a table, this is a table and database, right? So suppose exercise model, and this contains id and exercise name, so this will be on the model. So this is the basic structure of our application. I hope you got the basic idea. Now let me show how much the app is already developed. Okay, let me bring out the emulator. So if I bring the Android emulator back, you can see the emulator. Let me bring this to the center. Okay, so if you see this, I've sent it. You'll have a card where you can see the date, time, and the salutation, the location, temperature, and the weather. So regarding the weather, we will not be taking a location access, though we can do with Flutter, but we don't want to expose anything that is too sensitive. Okay, we don't want to do that, so we'll not go with the location. It's very easy. You can just use some. I think Flutter already has a package that can give you the access location and all this thing, but we don't want to do that. How we'll be doing? We'll be using the zip code and the country code, so that we don't get the exact location, but at least we get an idea of like where the location is, so that we can get the weather using Open Weather Map. Okay, let me put the link also of the Open Weather Map, so that you know where we are getting the APIs. For weather data, put this. So you can go to this link if you want to know how you can get the API key and all this. We'll get that here. So yeah, then in the application, if you see, we have some pills like thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So what this will do first is So the basic idea of app is like it needs to track your day, okay? Like when you wake up, when you sleep, your journal type of thing. Like if you are doing something, you just want to write in a notebook. Instead of notebook, you write it here. Okay. So it's like when people used to write diary, right? People write diary. So why can't you just put in an application that is so simple? It will not do anything complex. It is not anything, but it's a simple application. Okay. So first one, today I woke up at, there's a timing here, right? You can click on this and set your time. So you can say, suppose you woke up at 5 a.m. Okay. You woke up at 5:30. Click OK. Say you get the 5:30 a.m. Then you went on a walk. The second one, you went on a walk. Click on this and say I went a walk for 30.5 kilometer. Click on save and you see 30.5 kilometer. Then you want to do some to-do list. So to-do list, if you see, okay, there is one error if you okay, no error here. So you want to add some to-dos. Suppose like bring grocery, right? Bring grocery and click on plus. See, the grocery got added here. And what you can do is you can even check it. It will get checked and you'll get cut out. And if you see the color grid also, okay, and then you can uncheck also. And if you double click it, and if you long click it, right, if you click it for a longer time, like then you can even update the grocery. And just a minute, let me try to edit it and click update. See, it's updated also. And if you want to delete, right, then suppose you want to delete this, so you can just long click it, click on delete, it's gone. Okay, so this to do is completed, but we'll keep this feature. I haven't started streaming when I was writing, so just I want to get a basic idea how the app will be looking so that I can start. Okay, but yeah, we'll be going through it. Okay, if you want to know any specific, we'll be going through it. Then we have the exercise. What is the exercise? Just where you can, if you did any exercise, okay, suppose you did some pull up today, you just write pull up and click on plus. See, the pull up got entered. But you thought, oh no, this is not pull up, this is something else. So just click on this, it will get deleted. Okay, and here you will get the number of exercise that you did for today. And the last one is expenditure. What is expenditure? Expenditure is where you can track your day-to-day expenditure that you like. If you bought something and all that. Suppose you bought today, you bought milk, okay? Milk and the price was 50 rupees. I haven't added the currency for it because I don't want to restrict it to whatever currency you use. So and click on add. See, milk will get added here, and the total sum will be coming up here. Okay. Yeah. See, this does not still have the what you say the edit and all this action. We haven't added it yet, but yeah, that can be one of them. Now let me show you how this to-do list work. Okay. Let me go to VS Code and put this in the side. Okay. So this goes to the side and let me go to to-do list. So if I go to the components and to-dos, let me do one thing. Let me hide all of them. So, let's go to this. Okay. To-dos. So in the to-dos, first let's go to the view. Let me even remove the emulator also. So what it will do first, it is using expansion panel because you can see when I click, right, there is a drop down and when you can add the things. So it's using expansion panel and this is the name. And it's using the chip. If you see, the chip is used because if you see on to-do list, right, this will also contain. Okay, let me bring up so that at least, or else it becomes a problem. Yeah, you can see that, right? So if you see the to-do list, the name right on here, and this is the name. And if it's a chip, the chip was used because we want to show like how much was done out of how many is prepared to plan to do. Okay, so if you say 3 by 8 here, right? So here the 8 means there are total number of 8 to do. So let me expand it. As I said, this is expansion panel, right? So when you click, it will expand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 of them, and 3 of them are checked, right? So it's 3 by 8. Let me check one more. So if I check one more, see it becomes 4 by 8. Uncheck this, it becomes 3 by 8. 1 second. Okay. And if I delete one, let me delete the last one and delete. Say it becomes 2 by 7. Okay. So how is it using? In the body of the expansion panel, we're using a size box that is taking a height of 50. Okay, we want to take the 50% height of it. But I think we'll not be using a height like this. We'll be using a constant height. But yeah, that we'll do from the next one. For today's, it's more of exploring what the project is and what we're going forward with. Then it's using the text form field where you use the controller to change the text, and the decoration is simple. So there are some problems with it. Like we should not use number directly, but so that the complete application uses a specific radius and all that, right? So we'll be looking into it. We'll just generalize it. We'll put in a class or something. Okay. And the suffix icon, if you see, there's a circle with an add button. Okay. So what is this? If you expand this, if you see there is an plus circle, right? So this is the button, and when you click on it, it will just add it to do model. Okay, we'll be going through the states are handled. It may not be the best way to do it, but since it works for now, as soon as I start finding issue or I start learning more of how these things work, I'll look into it. But for now, yeah, we're going this way. Okay, let me show you how this works. Okay, so we are reading this to do provider. So this is how when you wanted to interact with a provider in Riverport, right? You read it, you read the notifier of it, then add the functionality to it. So let me go to the to-dos provider. If you see this to-do provider is the async notifier provider. So what async notifier provider is? So if we have a async notifier, okay, what is notifier? Notifier is like in Riverport, right? In the async notifier, you have a state, okay? You have a variable called state, and what this state, this should control the state that you are tracking in the notifier. So if any time there is a change in state, right? If the state is changed, it will say whoever is this notifier provider, right? So it will tell this there is a change and the state needs to change, so the UI will interact with it. So when we add a to do, right? If you say here, okay, let me go to the class first. So we are doing a notifier which extends async notifier. So let me go to async notifier so that you can look at the definition. See this, a notifier implementation that is asynchronously initialized. This is similar to future provider but allows to perform side effect by defining public method. It's commonly for caching network request call while allowing to perform side effects. For example, build and could fetch information about the current user. Initializing a notifier from a second source of data, for example, obtaining the initial start of local database. It's being used for different things, but for us, what we are using it for is we are using it where we can fetch the to-dos, we can add to-dos and delete it. We are using this async notifier. Okay. So when you call this add, what it does is it takes it to do. It calls the repository because I said right how our app is designed is the repository will do all the API calls. The providers will control the state of it, but the repository will do all the API calls that needs to be done. Okay. So we are reading the to-dos repository, which in fact is instance of to-do repository. What it does is, so when you do an add, right, what will this do? This will call a Firebase Firestore instance. Okay, if you see there's a Firestore instance, it will call the collection. So the naming convention, then have to think now. When we'll discuss how we design the database for it, It's a little bit complicated because I want to design a specific way, but yeah, it's not the best way. Okay? The This application should not give the best way to do things, but this application should give an idea how things can be done. Yes, there is a scope for improvement. We will do that, but for now, let's build something. Okay, let's build something, push it to App Store, and see how it works. If it works, we'll get confidence, write more, do better. Yeah, that's it. So how this Firestore works is we'll call the collection of this, we'll call the doc, and we'll try to. So this will be different for all different type of database, okay? Because this will be based on like how you designed it. So I designed it this way where you'll have a collection, you'll have a doc. Inside the doc, you'll have one more collection called to-dos, and inside the to-dos, you'll have more documents of the to-do. So this is more so much of nesting. Though nesting is not a good idea on Firebase, but it works, okay? And I've thought about it, and it makes the idea simpler. Like if you even want to migrate this to SQL, right, instead of the NoSQL Firestore, we can do it, and it will look cleaner on SQL also. So we want to manage it that way so that when we go to relations database, the relations look simpler. It's easy to understand. For a smaller app, you don't want to get complicated in database and all these things. Okay, we are using Flutter. We want to do fast development, and we're using Firebase because we don't want to do the backend ourselves. We want to depend on Firebase. So we're trying to do something develop faster without thinking of the performance on this. Performance we will definitely have to think, but for now it's building. Okay, the main goal is building something, not the best, but a good one that is usable. Okay. So if you see, it will call the collection, it will add the task. It will add the task, and if it's completed, and it will also add the created time. And created will always be whenever you create, right? You want to get the current time and post it. So this is how add to do will work. Okay. So when you do this add to do model, this will get saved. If you see the task will be a to do controller. So if you open this to do, right? If you write here something, so this is a text form field, right? And if you see the text form field, it has a controller called to do controller. So when you write something, right, how it works is, suppose this is a test. So now this to do controller, this is a text reading controller. Okay, so when you write something, this whatever you write here, right, this will be part of text of this controller. So when you do in this line number 70, if you see, right, we did a text. So we can just put the text and save it. So when you click on plus, see, this is a text. It called the add, then it uses the model, and let's let me put a comma here so that we get a formatting. Does it look better? Yeah. Okay. So to do model, it will call this to do model, and it will pass the task completed, and instance of this will be added to the add, and this will set the database. Okay, that is how it works. Now we have this. If you see, there is a list below, right? What we use is we use expanded. So the how much ever space I said, right, this is a what you say, the size box, and we're using 50% of the screen. So when you use expanded, right, so whatever space left, expanded will take up. So here if you see, there's something called to-do list. What is it? This is also a provider. If you see, let me take you. If you see, it's watching for to-dos provider, and if you go inside it, see, it's looking for to-do notifier that will return to-do model. And as I said, there is a state, right? On the notifier, when we are doing async notifier, the state can be anything, but for us the state is list. Okay, if you see, we are trying to return list of to-do model. So when you listen to this notifier, right, you'll be getting a list all the time. In the first instance, when there is nothing, you'll be getting an empty list, but you'll always be getting a list. So here what it does is, so this river pod is a special feature. Okay, if it's a feature call, okay, it's a feature call, I mean there's a network call or anything, it will give you this property called when. So what this when will do it, so it will check for 3 states. Once the data is found, either data is null or data is found in any of instance, then it will give one more state. So this is the data state. Okay, the data state is when you get a response. Okay, it's not an error, you got a response, that is when the data will get executed. Second is the error state. So if there is an error, it also give you an error state, okay? And the intermediate is loading. If it's loading, right, then we'll give you this loading. So these are very useful things. Like we can do this in future builder and all this, when we can use the snapshot like current state, using the current state. But yeah, getting something like so many batteries included for riverboat is a good thing for developing faster. Okay, it may get complicated, it may look complicated, but if you're facing any issue, right, I don't have a complete idea of how riverpod works or how inherited widget works, but I know how it serves my purpose. I'm just using it to serve my purpose, and once I feel I should move away from it, we're not dependent. Okay, getting dependent to a package is a little bit troublesome. So yeah, but the guy who's writing it, right, his name is Remy something. He's an awesome guy. So now what is this gets a data. As I said, the data will be a list, right? It can be an empty list, but it will be a list, always a list. So this to-dos will become a list. So what we're doing, we're creating a list view that builder. What this builder does is, in this builder, we can pass a data. So and the length of it. So how much ever length it is, right? So it will be, so this builder, I suppose what it does is, it does not load the complete list. Okay, so when you scroll, right, it will keep an extent to how much it will load. So it makes it little bit fast, smoother also, since it doesn't have to load everything on the UI and update it every time, right? So it tries to keep, I guess, not so sure, but yeah, it don't keep the full list, but it will keep to up to some extent, which you can change so that your UI does not jitter, okay, when it's too long of a list. And what we're doing inside this is we're putting a list type. So in the list style, what we'll do, one second. Okay, ignore the on long press for now. I'll go through it. Okay, this is the update in this part. Okay, we have seen, right, when you click for a long time, you can see the update and how to delete it to do. Okay, this you don't have to worry. First is you have to see the leading. What is the leading? Leading is in the list style, right? Leading will be the first one. If you see the checkbox here, right, this is the leading. So this is the checkbox here. And what we'll do is we'll check if the to-dos that was returned, okay, from this notifier, if it was completed or not. If it was not completed, then the checkbox will become false. If it was completed, then it's true. And what we do is on change. You shall have an on change property. So when you click on it, it will just toggle whatever was there. If it's true, it will become false. If it's false, it will become true. So if you click this, if you see, it was unchecked, it becomes checked. Click once more, it was checked, it become unchecked. So this is how the checkbox working. Then the title, if you see, we have the name. So whatever the task name is, right, we'll put in here. And there is a style for, so that since we want to strike it, right, so when you click it, we want that line should be striked over here. This is just, and as I said earlier, right, so this text style, we will generalize it. We'll put in the same file so that the whole system uses some specific type of text style. Okay, now let's go to the on type. So this list style, right, this list style also has a gesture indicator inside it. Okay, so you can take feedback from it. So you can do tap, you can do long press. So what we do on long tap, you don't have to click this checkbox, okay, to mark it correct. You can do click anywhere on this list style. Just click it here. See, it got unchecked. Click it here. So we are in the on tap property. What we are doing, we are reading the notifier and we are toggling completion. So whatever the completion was, it was false, make it true. It was true, make it false. Now let's go to the long press. If you see, when I click and keep it hold, right, when I long press it, you'll be getting a dialog like this where you can edit. So let me edit this. Edit it and click on update. See, you get the edited thing, right? So this is where the checkbox will come into play on the long press. So the show dialog. So when you do a long press, there will be a show dialog. And show dialog, it takes the context, like what is the ancestor of it. The context will be the context that is being passed to this list view. Okay, this consumer user, and we'll be building a dialog of it. And these are the basic styling of it. The main things happen here. So if you see, there is a row. This is the one. This is the row, right? So this row will have, first will have delete. So what will do is it will same thing. It will delete the provider and will delete that to do based on index. So I said that this in the database when we save the ID, we save the task name, and we save when it was created. So based on ID, we can delete it. That's why we added the ID so that at least we can differentiate like the. You see, the formatting is not correct and it looks horrible, but we can't do anything. It formats based on comma, right? So it will go like this only. Okay, this is the delete. Then second is the update to do. In the update to do, we pass the ID, the task, and the complete. So if it's completed, and what we do when we click on it, we are doing navigator the off context that pop. What will this do? It will close this model. Okay. And the third is cancel, where we don't do anything, we just close the model. If we click the close, right, it will just close it and it will give the focus back to the to do. So this is basically how these to do things work. Similarly like this, okay, since we are using the same styling for others, the exercise also will work where you can add it, but instead of a list style, it will put inside the chip. In the chip we can delete it, and same for the expenditure, but in the expenditure we don't add just a field, we add two fields where there will be item name and the price also. Okay, but yeah, on the expenditure if you see, you cannot long press and all this thing, so we'll have to work on that. So yeah, that is the basic of what this application is. This is what I wanted today's video should be about, where we discuss about how the application is built, how the folder structure looks, and what we can see on that. From tomorrow's video, the main thing that we want to do tomorrow, like on the next video, is let me put a to-do list. Okay, I did not show you the main feature actually. Okay, I missed the best feature, not the best. I'm not so happy with what the output is because I need to change it and I need to. I'm just lacking ideas like how this thing should play. If you see the name of this chapter, it's called journal. What is journal? Journal or a diary? What it is? You write everything, right? Like if something happened just now, so you don't want to wait for night. Like just write it now, or you can even write at the end of the day. But sometimes you want to write something as soon as it occurred, right? So what you can do, you can see a pencil icon here, right, on the bottom. Let me put this on the center of the screen, okay? And let me increase the size a bit. I think you can see it now. Yeah, if you see on the bottom right, there is an edit 5 icon. When you click on it, you'll get a bottom navigation, okay? Bottom navigation sheet. So what this will do is here you can write anything that happened, okay? Suppose recording the first live of building Flutter application, okay? And you can hit the save. What will do? This will put up the whatever you wrote here and within the timestamp also. So what the basic idea of this is, like if anything happened today, right? Just write it here and it will show you like based on time when you wrote it. It will put the thing. I want to improve it, but yeah, for now I'm lacking some ideas like how this can be improved. But the basic idea is same. So what you want to do is like if something happened, just click on the edit button and write up something whatever you want, right? So write what exciting thing happened. Click on save and it should be coming here along with the time. so that you can look into it. Okay, and we'll be saving it for every day we'll have different, so it will be based on day. So that is what the plan is for this. And yeah, this we need to improve, but for the next video this will not be the task. The main task will be like, this is the expenditure, right? So we also wanted to add like one more thing is like, if you read a book, right? So if you read a book or an article or watched a video or something, right? So what is the best thing you learned for today? So we'll put one more thing here, the same thing, like the UI will become same. So we'll give in to write it, so that every day, right, since you watch so many videos, you read articles, you read books, you'll have something that is close to your heart, right? Like something's really touched you, or you really got excited about something and want to know more about it, or something like this, something happened. So you want to keep that also in track, right? So suddenly one day when you see your everyday like daily thing, right, some nostalgic thing may come after this. So this should not only be like tracking your day, but so when you look back like after some years, or when you are following this, it should be like a diary, right? So when you turn to a page of certain date of certain year, you get nostalgic like what happened. So that is what the next thing should be here. We'll put here. And bottom than this, that's there'll be one more, since this is the age of technology and we click so many pictures, like we'll also give one option where you can upload the best picture of the day. Any picture you click, best picture of the day, like how you do for Snapchat, Instagram and all this, you can put a best picture. Click of your own picture. If you don't have anything, click of your own picture. Just you can see like some years back down the line, right? You can see how you looked on that particular day. Maybe it may not be interesting for all of us. Like me, I don't click photos. I hardly click my own photos. So, but yeah, this will be the one. And one more feature can be like, since this also tracks on health, right? So we can give one place like where you can track the food that you ate, that it's too sugary or you want to avoid eating it. So you can put a list of it, so that from the next time you see that you know that you have been eating this food for a long time, like every day or something, then you can avoid that. That will be one. And what more feature can be? Yeah, if you have any feature that you think can suit here, right? So the basic idea is like it should be your day-to-day task and some things you want to track. Okay, from the waking up to sleep. Okay, the last feature will be sleep. Okay, sleep time. Since this is a today I woke up at, right? Today I slept at, this will be the last time, but we are feeling the in between. So like you woke up, you went for a walk, you have some to-do list, you did some exercise, you have some expenditure, and as I said, you have something you read, the best thing of the day, you'll have the best picture of the day, and the sleep time, all this. So this will be added. If you have any suggestion, you can ping, you can put in the chat, I'll pick up. But for the next video, it will be like one more row of this type, where this will be the best thing from today's article, video, or book that you read, the best part of that today. So I think that should be for today's video. I hope you understood what the app is, and it gives you understanding like what we are doing. Yes, there is one caveat to this project, is most of the things, but yeah, many things are already built, but there are many things that needs to be improved from within. Okay, so there are some problems with it. So let me show you one problem. When I restart this app, right? Let me restart this app, and it's restarting. Okay, this is coming like this because I removed the API key. And if I click on this, went on a walk for this, right? When I click on this, say it shows 0.0, right? But if you see, the slider is already here, it's not the 0.0. So this can be fixed. If I click on it, see this is what I was talking about. So yeah, there are some issues with it, but if you see the expenditure, right? Expenditure cannot be edited. So once you add, it will cause a problem. So yeah, this can also be fixed. So when we start fixing smaller issues, right, then we'll have more idea like if there is anything, and code looking also will come fine. Like we can see the code, like what is impacting. We can generalize some styling. Generalizing styling is very important. Okay, you need to have one file that controls most of your styling, so that when you change in one, it changes your whole system. Your whole system follows a specific way of how UI should look. Okay? putting a text like font size for every text style in a number, it's very difficult because now you cannot put it like, yes, you can put theme of context and with their headlines, but yeah, we'll be putting in a file where we'll define all the type of styling that we want to do. But yes, basically it won't have more of styling. Okay, just simple one page application with basic UI and basic things to do. It's more of a texting where you need to type many things. It's all typing things here. Okay, and yeah, that is what I wanted to say for today. I hope it's interesting. You have learned something. If you want to provide some feedback, please do. Since this is the first video and it may not have been the best, but I'll try making a doing better, and we'll do a live development. And tell me how the stream went, like the audio, the background music, and all this. So yeah, that was basically most of the things for today, and I hope you have learned something. And yeah, I'll see you on the next live. That will be tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be building. So tomorrow I won't be going to the code 1 second. We'll start building up the features. I hope you join me. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next.